everybody. I like it here in Kansas City. Keep rooms packed and nice people. Well, I'm Jaimie Lin Wilson. Last time I was here was in December with the Hard Candy Christmas Tour with Sonny and Courtney and them, and I fell off the stage. Just because it was crowded and I went that way and I tripped. It was a mess. You were there? Pretty awkward. Just thought I'd break the ice with that one. I'm from Texas. I grew up in Southeast Texas just like Mr. Crowell did, so we've got that in common. Maybe we'll talk about it later when we become best friends. Hang a curtain in the window so you can't see me. Light a candle for the night before. I reminisce about the time in the painted white room that shook me down to the core. How many times I gotta tell you that I don't need you? How many times I gotta say it again? But I keep on hanging on your every move, waiting for the roof to cave in. Waiting for the roof to cave in. You've been fooling, living just a little too rough. I've been reaching, I can't get close enough. I gotta tell you, sometimes I think you wanna get caught, but you keep on running away. And I know that I put you in a pretty tight spot when I tell you that I want you to stay. There ain't very many things about a guy like you that I don't already know. You could put out the flame and sweep away the ash for anybody else sees a glow. For anybody else sees a glow. You've been fooling and living just a little too rough. I've been reaching, I can't get close enough. You can't satisfy, no, you can't satisfy a busy mind. Can you, baby? You can't help but try. You can't help but try to be that kind. Can you, baby? Well, I ain't ever been the kind of mind being alone. I'm just a little indifferent, I guess. But the look that you gave me when you drove away, you left a rock upon my chest. You left a rock upon my chest. Thank you. I recall it clearly like I'm seeing it today. I never felt a thing until you looked at me that way. Until I touched your skin, until you turned and walked away. But I recall it clearly like I'm seeing it today. Your skin smelled of sweat and smoke and little sweet cigars. The ceiling stained with years of troubled hearts, covered scars. The hand I held my own right through the corridor of cars. Led me to the world of wishing wells and shooting stars. Could have told you, darling, it would end up like this. When you're kissed by a fool, then you're fooled by a kiss. I believe you, baby, and your silver-lined tongue. You were handsome and older. I was foolish and young. Well, we drove on through the night into that sticky Texas heat. The moon was bright and shined down upon the vinyl seats. The low light had you looking like a lover in a dream. You talked to me like I was something more than 17. Could have told you, darling, it would end up like this. When you're kissed by a fool, you're fooled by a kiss. I believed you, baby, and your silver-lined tongue. You were handsome and older. I was foolish and young. Well, the morning light shone somber through a lonely window frame. In the faded stars, I wish that I could just forget your name. Cut you from my past, cut the candle from the flame. But to look back at it now, I might have done it all the same. And I could have told you, darling, it would end up like this. When you're kissed by a fool, you're fooled by a kiss. I believed you, baby, and your silver-lined tongue. You were handsome and older. I was foolish and young. Oh, I believed you, baby, and your silver-lined tongue. You were handsome and older. I was foolish and young. Thank you. So now I live in Southwest Texas. I live just west of San Antonio in this little bitty town called D'Hanis, Texas. It has about 600 people. They're all related to my husband. So I always make fun of him because I met him at college. We both went to Texas A&M, and whenever he was already out of school, like 2 years, and I was still in school, and I was like, why are you still here? Why are you still in College Station? Nobody wants to stay in College Station. And then I realized that he had to stay until he found a wife because he couldn't go back home without one. So down there where I live now, whenever I grew up, I was close to the coast, so I was used to having moisture in the air and rain and humidity and things. And then I moved out to the desert, and it was pretty brutal for a while. I remember about 5 years in, calling my husband on the way to town, and saying, "Have you ever read that book, Comanche Moon, by Larry McMurtry?" And he said, "Yeah, I have." I said, "Cool. Do you know the part where Mox kidnaps the general and takes him down south of the border, and then he hangs him in this big bird cage, and he peels his eyelids off, and he can't blink or sleep or anything, so then he just goes crazy?" And he said, "Yeah." And I was like, "Yeah, that's how I feel here. It's 187.5 degrees outside, and there are no clouds." And he just said, "I'm sorry to hear that. Do you need anything from Walmart?" I said, No, I don't. Thanks. I love you. Bye. See you when you get home." And now, 12 years later, here we are. We still live there. And now I like it, you know? It's not so bad. It took me a while to come around and realize I was never going to leave. But here's a song that I wrote about the South Texas drought. don't look like much right now, all burnt brown and Sinisa gray. You ought to see what would happen with just one good rainy day. I know how it feels, somehow, like I could dry up and blow away. I got a deep and abiding thirst as dry and hard as caliche clay. We're 6 years into a 7-year drought. I won't give in, but I'm about to give out. You can't eat hope, and you can't drink doubt. 6 years into a 7-year drought. 6 years into a 7-year drought. Evening sky so bright, fire red and gold, on cuts in the ground as deep and wide as I am old. They come from the inside, I know. I can feel it too. They start out small and fine and widen as the wind blows through. We're 6 years into a 7-year drought. I won't give in, but I'm about to give out. You can't eat hope, and you can't drink doubt. 6 years into a 7-year drought. 6 years into a 7-year drought. Don't it look like rain? Don't it feel like rain? A teardrop in the dust between the two of us. But don't it look like rain? We're 6 years into a 7-year drought. I won't give in, but I'm about to give out. You can't eat hope, and you can't drink doubt. 6 years into a 7-year drought. 6 years into a 7-year drought. Thank you. So my husband and I, we have 3 kids. And I left them all at home with him. I usually bring the babies. I bring them until they can talk. And then no more. You talk too much. Stay home. No, they're 2, 4, and 6. Wow. I know every day I wake up and go, oh, whoa. How did I get in charge of 3 kids? I don't know. But in this little town that we live in, we had the chance to buy my husband's uncle's house, and his uncle built this house in 1983, and it's really cool. It has really great, huge porches on it, and a bunch of pecan trees in the front yard, and as soon as we acquired that house, then my husband's mom bought the house that she grew up in, which is right next door. So. You know, everybody always is like, oh no, but it's great. Like whenever I've got toddlers around my feet and I'm trying to kick them off and cook supper, you know, I just say, here, take this to Granny's. And then they go get in their Jeep and they drive across the field and they deliver whatever useless thing that I made them take. And and I get like 20 minutes. And now there's chickens over there, so now they go and feed the chickens at Granny's every evening, and get the eggs. And so they take their like Halloween buckets that have turned into Easter egg baskets that are now chicken egg getting baskets. It's an Easter egg hunt every day. They're gonna be great in a couple weeks. But this is a song that I wrote about that house that we live in. It's a perfectly imperfect little house for us, and this song's called Yours and Mine. Well, it's just a house, not a scene from Home and Garden magazine, but it's the finest thing I've seen. It's yours and mine. And it's just a porch, just a door, just some old carpet on the floor. But I don't want anything more. It's yours and mine. When this old world is getting tough, we're a couple of diamonds in the rough. But we got our ways to shine, shine, shine. No, we can't ever get enough. It's the perfect kind of love. It's yours and mine. Hey, hey, hey. Well, it's just a kitchen, just a chair, a little kiss blown through the air, just a wink within a stare, a glass of wine. And it's just a bed for you and me, patchwork quilt and flannel sheets with a couple of babies underneath. They're yours and mine. When this old world is getting tough, we're a couple of diamonds in the rough. But we got our ways to shine, shine, shine. No, we can't ever get enough. It's the perfect kind of love. It's yours and mine. No, we can't ever get enough. It's the perfect kind of love. It's yours and mine. Hey, hey, hey. Well, it's just a house, not a scene from Home and Garden magazine, but it's the finest thing I've seen. It's yours and mine. Hey, it's the finest thing I've seen. It's yours and mine. Thank you. All right, I'm going to play a new song, even though y'all don't know the difference, most of you. If I told you how I really feel about you, would you care too much at all? Would the tension that we're feeling send you reeling, or just drive you up a wall? Would you say it's not the time or place? Maybe we could meet another day. If I told you how I really feel about you, well, I wonder what you'd say. In the dark I feel a loneliness at times that comes creeping into view. And I'd be lying if I didn't say that oftentimes it makes me think of you. And I feel like you're awake somewhere, dealing with the sorrow all your own. If I told you how I really feel about you, well, you'd never be alone. If I told you how I really feel about you, would you care too much at all? Would you say you had an idea this was coming and you felt it all along? Would you tell me that you love me too? Wish we'd met a lifetime ago. If I told you how I really feel about you, would you wish you didn't know? Thank you. I get great pleasure out of writing songs that make people uncomfortable. Wait, but didn't she just sing a song? Huh. Confused. Does anybody here know the band Turnpike Troubadours? With my people. I wrote this song with Evan from the Turnpike, and they just recorded it. So that's pretty cool. And I got to fly to El Paso and go sing on it too. Well, the night goes on forever when you try and make it last. We were passing time together just by laying in the grass, and we stared into the heavens and we saw the worlds collide. We were lying still and watching. They were moving through the sky. The stars in Oklahoma. Never seen a night so cool and clear. Shooting stars in Oklahoma burn so bright, then disappear. Yeah, the moonlight has a way of throwing shadows on the night. It would have been a shame to waste the only place that we could hide. Then the morning glow grew brighter, shining light upon our faces. We faded with the dawning and went our separate ways, like the stars in Oklahoma. Never seen a night so cool and clear. Shooting stars in Oklahoma burn so bright, then disappear. Oh, the stars in Oklahoma on the banks in late September. Yeah, they lead you through the darkness on a night you won't remember. Are the women all that easy? Do the men all play the fool? Are we all just out here looking for a way to break the rules? Oh. Well, it would take a fool to say it, like a photograph of grace. But fools need supervision or a gift for saving face. We got it on a handshake, we bought it for a song, just to chase a simple feeling of doing something wrong. Neath the stars in Oklahoma, never seen a night so cool and clear. Shooting stars in Oklahoma, burn so bright, then disappear. Yeah, we burned so bright, then disappeared. Thank you. Turns out you write a song that says Oklahoma in it. A band from Oklahoma might cut it. Strange how that happens. I'm gonna play a Guy Clark song because I just realized I have time to. You know, just like all of you, I'm sure all those songs, you go through them and you have a different favorite for a while every time. And this one is currently my favorite. It's better when it's in tune. There it is. No, it's not. Sorry. So, is anybody here from Texas? No? That's weird, you're not? Only me. Well, in Austin on April 7th, we're all getting together, a bunch of us, and we're honoring Guy at the Texas Heritage Songwriters Association, and Rodney's going to be there too, and my band, the Trishas, is going to be there. And yeah, it's going to be a great night. A bunch of folks. We're not going to sing this song. We're going to sing a different one. He washed all the road dirt from his face and from his neck. Sat down at her table, she picked up his check. And she took him home for reasons that she did not understand. Him, he had the answers, but he did not show his hand. 'Cause him, he knew the taste of this wine very well. It all goes down so easy, but the next day is hell. Morning, man, was I drunk? She whispered in the shower, while he laid there and smoked his way there through the final hour. She felt wholly empty, like she felt it every time. And he was feeling just the same, except he was trying to make it rhyme. And time was of the essence, so they both did their best to meet up in the kitchen, feeling fully dressed. She just had to go to work, he just had to go. And he knew where and she knew how to blow it off. And so they shot the breeze quite cavalier to the boiling of the pot, and sang the instant coffee blues and never fired a shot. Then he hit the driveway with his feelings in a case, and her, she hit the stoplight, touched up her face. So you tell them the difference between caring and not, and that it's all done with mirrors, lest they forgot. Said it's all done with mirrors, of which they have none, to blend the instant coffee blues into the morning sun. Thank you. Aw, thank you. Knew I was with my people here. Well, this is my last song, folks. I know. I know. I play you songs for hours. You know, after this show, go over to the Gospel Lounge. Not this show, like after Rodney. Oh, wait, the bar's closed then. Don't go there. So my husband and I, we have this 1975 Oldsmobile Delta 88 convertible. Yeah. He bought it whenever we were dating from his Uncle Jimmy, who is somewhat of a hoarder. He says he has a used car dealership, but he never sells them. Except for to Roy. But he pulled up, whenever we were dating, he pulled up to his house in College Station, and he had this baby blue huge boat of a car, and he was so proud of it, and we got in and we took a ride, and then I looked down at the floorboards and said, "Did Bill and Dee Dee have this car first?" And he said, "I think so. Why?" I said, "Because they left their floor mats." And they're still in there 13 years later. Bill and Dee Dee. But we like to take that car driving sometimes whenever it's a pretty day or we just don't have anything else to do, or whenever we really need to work something out, you know, and just got to get out of here. Let's go for a drive, you know. And in this, or the other time is whenever Dehennis, the town that I live in, has a parade. We take it to the parade, put flags on the corners of it, and dress the kids up and wave at people. Last year we were one of 7 entries. We were right behind the fire truck and right in front of the kid on the bike. But this particular occasion of needing to take a drive was finding out about that little surprise baby number 3. He just, all of a sudden I was pregnant, and all of a sudden it was 3 months in. And then I found out that my due date was September 4th, which just happens to be the hottest day of the year in Texas, which made me cry. But then I did what songwriters do, and I went outside and I worked it out. And this is what happened. Hey, I want to say thank y'all for being so nice to me tonight. And thank you, Frank, for having me here always, anytime I say. I was here in December, and I saw the Rodney Crowell poster on the wall, and I said, "Who's opening that show?" And he said, "You." Number 3's on the way. Just found out yesterday. Gonna be a long, hot summer. I'll be big as a tree, and I was. You'd never say that to me. You're a good man, and you know better. Take me out, babe, or drive today in our Oldsmobile. I'll slide over, head on your shoulder, with your one hand on the wheel of our Oldsmobile. I'll get a lunch packed. You call your mom back. Remember, she lives next door. Could she keep the kids for an hour or 2? Could you have imagined this, that day of our first kiss? Well, I think I did, and so did you. Take me out, babe, for a drive today in our Oldsmobile. Got nowhere to go, so we'll just go real slow with your one hand on the wheel of our Oldsmobile. We were just kids, it seems, new, blue, and borrowed things, but we drove away that day in this old Delta 88. And I said, take me out, babe, for a drive today in our Oldsmobile. Let's put the top down, show off this white gown, and your left hand on the wheel of our old Oldsmobile. Oldsmobile of our Oldsmobile. Thank you, everybody. I'm Jaimie Lin Wilson. I don't know where they moved the merchandise to, but that's where I'll be. And thank you very much.
It's a private affair. I've been